Heaven hid money in your house. You'll never guess. God says this to you right now. And the moment your heart opens, even by a small fraction, you will feel the shift moving through you like a warm breath from heaven itself. God says, I see you. I see how you've been carrying every weight, silently, bravely. I know the thoughts you never speak, the fears you pretend you don't feel, the pain you mask with a smile. My child, today is not a normal day. This moment is not a normal moment. Something from the higher realms is unfolding and heaven has pushed this message to you because Archangel Michael has been standing guard beside you since sunrise, insisting that you receive this without delay. He says this is not a joke. He says this is not something you can ignore. He says your spirit has reached the point where destiny must be activated. Heaven has watched you for a long time. Heaven has seen you endure storms that would have destroyed another person. Heaven has seen you wake up even when your soul felt like it had no strength. Heaven has seen you trust even after betrayal. Love even after heartbreak. Pray even when you were not sure anyone could hear you. And God says that every moment of that unseen faith has accumulated into something sacred, something powerful, something that now surrounds you like a field of glowing light. God says you have no idea how close you are to something miraculous. You don't know yet what has already been placed in your life. You don't realize what heaven hid for you inside your own house. God says there are blessings already in your environment that you never noticed because you were too busy trying to survive. There are opportunities, doors, breakthroughs, and divine arrangements hidden right where you live, within the walls of the place where you rest your head. Heaven has placed favor in your home, but not as physical money. Heaven placed provision in the form of ideas, intuition, mental clarity, unexpected help, angelic protection, and spiritual abundance that is about to become visible. God says, soon you will see what I hid for you. Soon you will understand why nothing worked before. Soon you will know that I never abandoned you for even 1 second. Archangel Michael stands in full authority beside you. He is not whispering today. He is declaring. He is pouring divine urgency into the atmosphere around your spirit because time is aligning in your favor. He says, open this now. Don't skip this. Don't turn away. If only you knew what heaven prepared for you, you would tremble. The spiritual world has been moving in silence for your benefit. You felt delays, but heaven saw protection. You felt blocked, but heaven saw a redirection. You felt alone, but heaven saw you being positioned. Sometimes God kept you out of certain situations because they would have harmed your destiny. Sometimes God removed people not because He wanted you lonely, but because He wanted your blessings protected from wrong hands. Sometimes God allowed sudden endings so your new beginning could start in peace, not in destruction. Archangel Michael says that everything that left your life did so because heaven ordered it. Nothing was a mistake. Nothing was random. Nothing was unnoticed. God says, my child, you have been carrying a heaviness that was never meant to break you. You have been feeling a pressure in your spirit because heaven has been preparing your next chapter. You have felt restless because you were not meant to stay where you were emotionally, spiritually, or mentally. Your spirit has been stretching, you have been undergoing a divine expansion. You outgrew your old season and that's why everything started feeling too tight. Heaven hid something in your home long before you even prayed for it. It is not a thing you can touch with your hands. It is not physical currency. It is the energy of breakthrough, a divine appointment, a sacred visitation of abundance. It is something placed in your atmosphere by God Himself. It is a blessing that your soul is finally ready to activate. God says, you have been living in the same rooms, walking on the same floors, breathing the same air, but you did not recognize the shift that was sitting quietly in the corner, waiting for your spirit to align. Archangel Michael says, the blessing is not in the ceiling or the walls. It is in your spiritual house, your inner sanctuary, your soul. Heaven has planted an inheritance inside your spirit. And now the time has come to unlock it. God says, the abundance I hid for you is the abundance of peace, ideas, inspiration, clarity, elevation, and divine timing. I have already placed the person who will help you. I have already placed the opportunity that will lift you. I have already placed the wisdom you need inside you. Everything I hid was hidden in a place where no enemy could steal it. God says you've been worried about money, but heaven says you're standing in the middle of a turning point that you don't even realize is unfolding. God says your prayers were not ignored. They were being answered in ways you could not yet see. Spiritually, things have been shifting like gears in a divine machine, moving in harmony even when your physical life felt chaotic. Every moment of confusion was preparation. Every moment of fear was purification. Every moment of heartbreak was transformation. Every moment of disappointment was repositioning. Archangel Michael says that something is breaking open spiritually around you. The atmosphere has changed. The energy around your name has changed. Your path is being cleared. Your obstacles are being dissolved. The chains that held your blessings in delay are being shattered. Heaven is moving with urgency because a divine timeline has activated. Something big is approaching. Something God ordained. Something heaven protected. Something that belongs only to you. God says that the blessing hidden in your house was placed long before any problem tried to attack you. God prepared the solution before the challenge even existed. God created the breakthrough before the struggle even began. God stored your blessings in a protected place so that when the storms came, they could not be stolen. You survived for this moment. You endured for this moment. You prayed for this moment even when you didn't know you were praying for it. Heaven saw how you loved people who did not deserve you. Heaven saw how you forgave people who would never have forgiven you. Heaven saw how you carried your family even when no one carried you. Heaven saw how you cried in silence so others would not worry. Heaven saw how you kept giving even when you were empty. And because heaven saw, heaven decided. God says, now it's your turn to receive. Now it's your turn to rest. Now it's your turn to rise. Archangel Michael says, you are stepping into a divine reversal. Everything that worked against you is about to work for you. Everything that drained you is about to bless you. Everything that weakened you is about to strengthen you. God says what was hidden is about to be revealed. What was delayed is about to be delivered. What was blocked is about to be released. The blessing in your home is also a shift of energy. God is replacing heaviness with peace. God is replacing fear with confidence. God is replacing confusion with clarity. God is replacing stagnation with movement. You will feel this change not just spiritually but emotionally and physically. You will wake up one morning with a strange sense of calm as if heaven touched your forehead while you slept. You will feel ideas coming from nowhere. You will feel opportunities appearing unexpectedly. You will feel a readiness in your spirit that was not there before. God says, "Everything I hid in your house was hidden for this moment. Now it is time for the blessing to awaken." Your intuition will suddenly sharpen. The right person will suddenly contact you. The right chance will suddenly appear. And the right door will suddenly open. This is not coincidence. This is coordination. Heaven has been orchestrating your breakthrough like a divine symphony. Note by note, step by step, God says you are about to walk into a season where you no longer beg for peace. It will live in your home. You no longer chase blessings. They will chase you. You no longer fear the future. The future will welcome you. You no longer worry about money. Provision will find you in unexpected ways. You no longer carry burdens. You will carry testimonies. Archangel Michael says that the reason you were led to read this message is because heaven is trying to activate a spiritual door inside you. Nothing is random, nothing is a coincidence. Your spirit was called. Your heart was summoned. Heaven is speaking directly to you. God says you are safe. You are protected. You are surrounded by angels. Nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing will break you. Nothing will defeat you. I am with you in every breath, every step, every tear, every hope. The divine money hidden in your house is symbolic of abundance that is yours. Abundance in peace, abundance in opportunity, abundance in creativity, abundance in alignment, abundance in solutions. The blessing is already in your environment. Your spirit is the key. Your faith is the switch. Your alignment is the ignition. God says, "I hid abundance where no enemy could touch it inside your destiny." Now the time has come for the hidden blessing to reveal itself. Heaven is ready. Michael is ready. Your spirit is ready. The shift has begun. The blessing is waking up. Your life is about to change in a way that feels sudden but was always planned. God says, "Rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected. Trust me. Pray to me. I am with you now and forever." And heaven whispers, "Open your life for what is coming next. It is bigger than you imagined." God is speaking to you in this moment. And there is a reason your spirit felt a pull when your eyes reached these words. This is not coming to you by accident. And Archangel Michael stands beside you right now with a very strong urgency. He is not raising fear. He is raising awareness, attention, and divine focus, because something hidden, something long awaited, something heaven placed in your life long before you even prayed for it is now rising to the surface. God says He has hidden something in your house, and the reason it was hidden was so no one else could contaminate it, steal it, or interfere with it. You were meant to discover it only in the timing when your heart was spiritually aligned with abundance, clarity, and divine protection. Heaven says very clearly, do not ignore this message. Not because something bad will happen, but because something destined for you is finally ready to appear. What is yours has been preserved. What is yours has been safeguarded, and what is yours is about to be revealed in a way that not even you expected. Archangel Michael speaks with firmness but tenderness in his voice, telling you that heaven placed a blessing that looks like money but is more than money. It has the energy of restoration, compensation, inheritance, divine justice, and answered prayers. He says you have been through losses that were not accidental. You have been through disappointments that were not because you failed, but because you were being spiritually protected from situations that would have drained you, people who would have misused you, and environments that were not aligned with the path God truly designed for you. Your pain was not a punishment. Your delay was not rejection. It was preparation for this moment. God hid a financial blessing not because you were not ready, but because everyone around you was not ready for what God placed upon your life. And now heaven says your time has fully arrived. God says you have walked through seasons where you questioned if He even heard you. You cried quietly at night because you felt like your effort was unseen. Your goodness was unappreciated and your loyalty was taken advantage of. But your tears were never wasted. God collected every tear and He counted every moment when you chose kindness even when you were weary. You don't realize how powerful your faith has been. Even during those times when you thought you were weak, heaven was looking at you with admiration, saying, "Look how my child keeps standing. Look how my child keeps trying. Look how my child keeps believing even when the world gave them reasons to stop." God says, you have passed tests without knowing they were tests. And now the reward that was hidden is being unlocked. Archangel Michael says the reason he is speaking urgently is because heaven is aligning everything around you. What was blocked is opening. What was delayed is moving. What was held back is being released. He says he has fought heavy spiritual battles to clear your path, to remove obstacles that were not visible, and to break invisible chains you didn't even know were restricting your blessings. And now he is standing before you, pointing toward your home, your room, your walls, your shelves, your drawers, and saying, "Look again. Something is there." He is not speaking about something dangerous. He is speaking about something heaven stored under divine protection. He says there is something in your house connected to abundance, money energy, prosperity energy, breakthrough energy, something that will bring clarity, relief, and even tears of gratitude when you discover it. God says you have been surrounded by energies of lack for too long. Not because you were meant to struggle, but because you were meant to learn how to survive in places that tried to break your spirit. You have already mastered survival. Now God wants you to master abundance. And abundance does not only mean money, it means peace flowing like water. It means opportunities arriving without force. It means being chosen. It means being appreciated. It means waking up with joy instead of worry. It means knowing you are protected, safe, guided, and favored. But God says money is also part of this blessing because He has seen how often you needed financial support and had no one to turn to. Heaven hid money not to tease you but to preserve it for the exact moment when your spirit would recognize its value and your heart would not waste it on the wrong people. There has been a shift happening in your energy over the last weeks. Even if you weren't fully conscious of it, your spirit has been shedding old heaviness, old fears, old disappointments, old memories that no longer serve your growth. God says He has watched you releasing old pain from people who never apologized, people who hurt you without understanding the depth of the wounds they created. People who took from you more than they ever gave. You didn't get closure, but God gave you strength. And that strength became spiritual currency. Heaven rewards strength. Heaven rewards endurance. Heaven rewards purity of heart. And God says your reward is now active. Archangel Michael says there are spiritual laws that govern blessings. Some blessings cannot be released until a person's heart is clean of bitterness. You did not let bitterness ruin you. Even when you were pushed, ignored, mistreated or misunderstood, you still kept love in your spirit. That is why heaven trusted you with this hidden blessing. Michael says, "This one is worthy. This one is pure. This one is faithful. Release what belongs to them." And now heaven is releasing it. God says He hid the blessing in a way that no one could take credit for it. No person can claim they helped you get it. No person can say you owe them. No person can manipulate you by saying they supported you. This blessing is from God directly to you. It is heaven's signature, heaven's handwriting, heaven's confirmation that the seasons you survived did not destroy you. They elevated you. What was hidden is now becoming visible. What was delayed is now becoming active. What was blocked is now becoming unstoppable. You may feel a sudden sense of expectation in your chest, like something is about to happen. That is not anxiety. That is spiritual awakening. That is your soul recognizing a divine shift before your mind understands it. Your heart knows it. Your intuition feels it. Heaven is whispering to you. God is guiding you step by step. You are entering a new chapter where what you lost will come back multiplied. Where what you prayed for will appear faster than you imagined. Where what you struggled through will become part of your testimony, not your identity. God says you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are protected in ways you cannot see. Your home is surrounded by angels. Your steps are guarded. Your sleep is covered by divine presence. Even when you feel alone, heaven is standing with you. Even when you doubt, God is still working. Even when you fear, Michael is still fighting for you. You don't have to carry everything alone anymore. You don't have to be strong every minute. You don't have to hide your worries. God has seen them. Heaven felt them. And now heaven responds. The hidden money God speaks about is symbolic and literal at the same time. It could be a physical item, forgotten savings, paperwork connected to financial blessing. Something misplaced long ago, something tucked away, something meaningful. But it is also a spiritual indication that financial relief is entering your life. Doors of income, opportunities, unexpected resources, financial favor, and divine compensation are opening. God is not limited. If heaven wants to bless you, it will come in ways beyond logic. It will come through unexpected channels. It will come through divine placement. You will look back and say, "How did this happen?" And the answer will be, "It was God." Archangel Michael says, you will soon experience a moment where something in your home catches your attention unexpectedly. An object, a drawer, a paper, a box, a corner you rarely check. A place you haven't touched for a long time. Your spirit will feel a nudge. Follow that nudge. Trust that nudge. Heaven is guiding you gently. Not with fear, but with purpose. Something heaven hid long ago is waiting for you to notice it. And when you find it, the spiritual confirmation in your heart will be stronger than anything words can describe. God says this blessing comes with peace, not confusion, not fear. Peace. When you find what heaven hid, you will feel relief, calmness, warmth in your chest, a sense of divine timing. Because this blessing arrives at the exact moment you need it the most. Not too early, not too late, right on time. God is never late. You have entered a window of grace. A spiritual window. When blessings move faster, prayers are answered quicker and divine signs come clearly. Heaven is aligning circumstances with surprising speed. Expect good news, expect breakthroughs. Expect unexpected financial relief. Expect comfort. Expect opportunities where you thought there were none. Expect people to show up with kindness. Expect divine synchronicities. Heaven is not silent. Heaven is active. God says your heart is clean enough to receive now. Your spirit is open. Your faith is alive. And that is why heaven says open this now. Pay attention. Don't skip this. You are being guided. You are safe. You are protected. You are chosen. And what God hid in your house, physically and spiritually, will soon be revealed. And when it appears, you will understand why heaven wanted you to read this message today. God says the blessing was never missing. It was simply waiting for you to be ready. Your life is about to shift. Your home is about to shift. Your energy is about to shift. Heaven has already chosen the moment. And the moment is now. God says He is speaking to you now. And His voice is moving through every breath around you. He says this message is arriving at the exact second you were meant to receive it. Archangel Michael is standing beside you, urgently insisting that you do not ignore a single word, because something heavenly has been placed in your life. Something hidden not by humans, not by chance, but by divine intention. God says that what is in your home is not ordinary. It is not random. It is not something you can recognize with the eyes of this world. He says heaven hid something for you, and the moment to reveal it has come. He says you must not fear, because nothing dangerous is coming toward you. You are protected, watched, and wrapped in God's light. You are safe. God says you need only trust Him. Breathe and let His voice guide you. Archangel Michael steps forward in spirit, powerful and glowing, and says, "This isn't a moment to scroll past or take lightly." He says, "This isn't a joke, and it isn't entertainment." He says He orders you with love, with divine authority, to open your heart right now, because what God hid for you is connected to your destiny, your path, and your future abundance. Michael says, heaven placed something inside your home long before you noticed anything was happening. Long before you questioned why certain things felt strange, why certain objects seemed to attract your attention, why certain corners of your room made you pause for a second longer than usual. God says He was planting something in your atmosphere, in your environment, in the places you walk every day, waiting for the right moment to show you what it means. God says you need to breathe deeply because the message that follows is spiritual, symbolic and filled with meaning. He says the money heaven hid in your house is not only physical blessing but spiritual wealth, divine opportunities, unexpected favor, open doors and miracles waiting to activate. God says He wants you to know that you are not empty. You are not forgotten. You are not lacking. Even if life has made you feel that way, He says that what was hidden in your home is a sign. A sign that your prayers have been heard and your suffering has not been wasted. He says your house has been a battlefield. A place where you fought silent battles no one else understood. A place where you cried tears that God Himself collected. A place where thoughts circled like storms and yet you still held on to faith. God says heaven rewarded that faith by placing favor in the very place where you once felt fear. He says, "My child, you do not realize how many angels have walked through your home. You do not realize how many times I have stood in the corners where you felt most alone. You do not realize how many times my presence filled the air behind you when you thought you were completely by yourself." God says that heaven hid something in your house not to test you, not to confuse you, but to remind you that He never left. He says this blessing was placed in a spiritual pocket of your environment, waiting for the day your spirit would be mature enough to receive it. The moment is now. Archangel Michael is shouting this with urgency because he doesn't want you to doubt even for a second. He says the location is not important in the physical sense. What matters is the meaning behind it. The meaning is that God has surrounded you with unexpected abundance, support, protection, and divine energy that you did not yet see. God says your home has been prepared for a shift. He says the air in your room has been waiting. He says the walls have absorbed your prayers and now they are ready to release blessings. He says you might notice your intuition growing stronger. Sudden thoughts coming to you that weren't there before. Sudden movements in your heart that feel like God Himself pulling you closer. He says this is not imagination. He says this is not coincidence. He says, this is your awakening. Archangel Michael says he has been fighting battles on your behalf that you never even knew existed. He says he has cut off negative energy, closed the doors that weren't for you, disconnected you from people who were secretly wishing against you, and shielded you from emotional traps that could have destroyed your spirit. He says you were protected even when you didn't know you were in danger. He says that heaven placed spiritual wealth in your home because your home is your heart's sanctuary and God needed to mark it with something divine. God says the money hidden is also symbolic of your value, your worth in heaven's eyes. He says there is something inside you that you have forgotten. Your ability to manifest, your ability to rise, your ability to step into greatness without fear. God says you have spent too long doubting yourself. Believing you are not enough, believing you don't deserve miracles. He says that is exactly why heaven placed this blessing in your home. So you would be reminded of who you really are. He says you might feel tired, emotionally heavy, or spiritually drained because you have been carrying burdens that were never meant for you. God says He watched you carry pain quietly without complaining, without asking for anything in return. He says you have been strong for others, while secretly feeling weak yourself. He says that is why he hid abundance in your home, because you have been pouring out more than you've been receiving. And now it is time for heaven to refill you. Archangel Michael says you have been walking around with questions in your heart, wondering why certain blessings haven't arrived yet. Wondering why life has been slow. Wondering why your breakthroughs felt delayed. He says the delay was not a punishment, it was preparation. He says heaven needed to clear your path first. He says heaven needed to remove the wrong people before giving you the right blessings. He says heaven needed to strengthen your spirit so you could carry what is coming next. God says the blessing hidden in your home is connected to timing. He says everything in your life is shifting to align with your highest purpose. He says you are entering a season where clarity will replace confusion, where peace will replace chaos, where breakthroughs will replace blockages. God says you might not see the physical manifestation yet, but the spiritual walls around you are already glowing with favor. He says you might feel moments of sudden hope, sudden emotional warmth, sudden waves of reassurance. He says those feelings are signs, signals from heaven to let you know that the blessing is active, alive, and unfolding. He says you are not waiting for the miracle. The miracle is waiting for you to recognize it. God says you have to release fear. He says fear has been sitting in your chest like a stone. He says he is removing that fear today. He says he is breathing courage into you. He says he is reminding you that you are not walking alone, not even for a single second. He says he is holding your right hand, guiding your feet, and setting angels around your bed as you sleep. Archangel Michael says he has stood guard at night when your mind was overwhelmed. He says he has spoken to your spirit through dreams, through whispers, through sudden urges to pray or breathe or reflect. He says that every sign you ignored before was not random. It was heaven, trying to get your attention. God says that the hidden blessing in your home is also a message that your financial struggles are coming to an end. He says he has seen you worry about money, stress about the future, wonder how you will manage certain responsibilities. He says he is stepping into those areas now. He says he is preparing unexpected solutions, unexpected opportunities, and unexpected support systems for you. He says you will not be abandoned financially. You will not be left alone to struggle, you will not be forgotten. He says he knows exactly what you need even before you speak it. He says he knows the pressure you feel. He says he knows the weight on your shoulders. And he says he is lifting it. God says you will notice changes. Changes in energy, changes in your home, changes in your thoughts, changes in your circumstances. He says these changes are heaven's fingerprints. Archangel Michael says that the money hidden is also spiritual strength. He says heaven hid power inside you, dreams you haven't used yet, talents you haven't unlocked yet, blessings you didn't know were yours. He says the real treasure is not just around you but within you. God says that today marks a divine activation. He says your spiritual wealth is waking up. He says your gifts are waking up. He says your intuition is waking up. He says your spirit is stepping into a new level where fear has no authority and doubt has no power. He says you will begin to feel guided in ways you cannot explain. He says you will feel drawn towards certain decisions, certain paths, certain opportunities. He says when the moment comes, you will know because the peace inside you will confirm it. God says the blessing hidden in your home has been waiting for you to be ready emotionally. He says now you are ready. He says now your spirit is strong enough to receive what He has been saving for you. He says the breakthrough is closer than you think. He says the miracle is already walking toward you. He says you are safe. He says you are protected. He says you are loved. He says you are chosen. Archangel Michael says to breathe, to trust, and to open your heart, because what heaven placed in your home is not just a blessing. It is a promise. A promise that your life is shifting. A promise that your future is brighter. A promise that God has not forgotten a single prayer you whispered in the dark. God says, "My child, rest now. You are safe. Nothing will go wrong for you. I am with you." God says that when your heart becomes restless and the world around you feels heavy, it is because heaven is preparing a shift that your soul can sense before your mind can understand. God says that there is a reason this message reached you exactly now, in this moment, in this breath, in this second of your life. Archangel Michael speaks with divine urgency, not to frighten you, but to awaken you to the miracle that has been quietly taking shape in the unseen places around you. Michael says, "Do not skip this. This isn't a joke. I order you to open this right now, because heaven has hidden something for you. Something that carries the energy of provision, safety, and divine timing. It is not something dangerous, not something dark, not something to fear. It is something meant to remind you that God sees you. God knows your burdens, and God has prepared abundance in a way that will make your heart tremble with gratitude. God says that heaven hid money in your house. But this message is not about physical treasure alone. It is about the hidden blessings, the overlooked miracles, the opportunities buried in plain sight, the grace folded quietly into the everyday corners of your life. God says that you will never guess where, because the blessing is not located in the places you expect. It is not necessarily a drawer or a box or a cupboard. It is in the places of your life where your spirit stopped looking, where your heart assumed nothing was left, where your hope felt tired. The money heaven hid for you includes ideas that can change your future, people who will help you in ways you haven't noticed yet. Answers you already have but do not realize you hold. God's abundance comes in many forms, and one of them is the opportunity you left untouched because life overwhelmed you. Archangel Michael says that heaven has been observing the quiet battles inside you, the doubts, the late-night thoughts, the questions you never say out loud. Heaven knows how many times you stood strong even when you felt fragile. Heaven knows how many times you kept going even when you felt invisible. That is why this blessing was placed in your path. It is not a random miracle. It is a divine recognition of your endurance. Michael says you